Yeah, we're meeting the Jazz Fest artists this week as the TD Victoria International Jazz Fest kicks off tonight. And for Saturday and Sunday, though, one of the acts we want to talk about is the Ron Di Lauro Sextet doing Kinda Blue, doing Miles Davis. They got 2 nights this weekend at Jazz Fest, and we're meeting Ron Di Lauro right now on the phone. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I think the moment I happened to put on the music is actually the saxophone playing, but you play the trumpet. You are the trumpeter. Yeah. So
Yes,
tell us more about your sextet here, and tell me more about what we can expect out of these shows.
We just arrived in Medicine Hat last night, so yesterday rather, and we're going to be doing a kind of workshop this afternoon on the terrace of the what's it called? I forget the name of it. Esplanade.
Oh, in Medicine Hat.
Yeah. And then we're doing a concert tonight, and tomorrow we head off to Victoria. Another 3-hour ride to Calgary Airport, and then we're going to take the plane to Victoria. We have a transfer in Vancouver, so we're very excited about this tour. We've got Medicine Hat, Victoria, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and this is the 100th anniversary of Miles Davis.
Oh wow!
So the festivals out west here were very eager to have this project. We've actually been around for 16 years doing this.
Doing this very thing, this Miles Davis stuff.
Yeah, we do very simply the entire album from beginning to end, and we open up our set with another with a selection from the sessions he did in 1957 with that same group. Before recording Kind of Blue, and it's all on Green Dolphin Street, and from the Jazz Track album. And Miles actually recorded more music in a 5-year period than any other artist in musical history.
Wow.
So he recorded many albums, a lot of music that was put onto albums and released in some cases a year or 2 after he recorded. So it's really something to do the research on all of this. I've read some books. I've done lots of, you name it, research in libraries, research on Chat GPT, and you get all kinds of stuff. And it's quite remarkable what he had been through from the time he cleaned up his act in 1954-55 when he went to Detroit, and that's where he actually met John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe Jones for the first time, and decided when he was cleaning up from a heroin addiction. And these guys, except for Paul Chambers, were on heroin too. So the drugs that go along with this entire jazz history, especially in the 1950s, with the jazz musicians, was quite significant, because it had changed a lot of the course of jazz history because of musicians that were fired, musicians that weren't around, musicians. I mean, it's quite amazing, It's kind of like the elephant in the room, So I'm discovering a lot of things, Miles included, but his drug thing didn't last very long, and then he got really serious really fast. So he went back to New York in 1955. He recorded around midnight in a live concert at Newport, which was like the turning point of his career, because that put him right back on the map. From that birth of the cool period and the hard bop, he started creating this hard bop school of playing, which eventually went into the modal school of playing with Kind of Blue, which was the ultimate masterpiece, which I believe started the the course of changed the course of improvised jazz from that point.
And that's
So
what you'll be bringing this weekend.
What we try to do is we try to, especially with myself as the lead, playing the lead role, I try to preserve the spirit of Miles's playing, and do the themes as much as possible the way he recorded them. So it's kind of sets the tone for the rest of the musicians, and then everyone takes on that role of Jean-Pierre Zanella plays the role of Cannonball Adderley, and we have Yannick Rieur, who is replacing our regular saxophone player André Leroux, who's actually with François Bourassa on this tour, and Martin Auguste on drums and Ira Coleman on bass. So we're once we play the themes in the same spirit of the album, we kind of gradually start letting go and doing what Miles would have wanted us to do. In other words, be inspired by what this album did for each one of those musicians, each one of those instruments, and then do our thing, respectfully.
Yeah,
so
improv.
And Miles would probably say the same thing. He would, if he looked me right in the face, he would say, "Don't try to play like me, play like you." So that's kind of the thing that we're trying to do. We're respecting Miles, but at the same time we're I'm kind of bringing together my 40 some odd years of playing jazz. And respecting Miles at the same time, So it's a lot of fun to do.
The album is Ron. The album's 67 years old, and so you have evolved. You said 15 years of playing it. Is that correct?
I'm 67.
Right.
So I was a year old when they,
is incredible.
The evolution actually it's timeless. You see, it's sacred music. So whenever we do this, we're treating it with respect. So I am trying to imitate Miles, but it's a style of trumpet playing that I latched on to when I was very young in the late 70s when I heard this music for the first time. It's like I said, wow, that's how I want to play. It was so inspiring. And then I gradually moved on to other inspirations too, like Freddie Hubbard and Chet Baker and Guido Basso, who I was very close to, and other great jazz trumpet players like Lee Morgan, and that kind of hard bop sort of trumpet playing that I really latched onto. When I was a kid, my father was a trumpet player, so he turned me on to a lot of Al Hirt and Harry James and things like that at the house. So I grew up listening to all kinds of trumpet players. So it's kind of a collage of all these inspirations and all these and then I wear a hat. So depending,
you got the hat.
Miles Davis.
You got the hat. You got the trumpet. You're bringing it all for sure. I got to cut you off just because we're out of time. But Ron Di Lauro, you got your sextet. You're bringing it to Victoria tomorrow night and Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah,
great. Hope to see a lot and people there.
And it's at Encore Victoria. That's on Broad Street. You can get tickets for them, but there's limited seating, so don't wait if you want to go. If this sounds inspiring and you want to see this sextet play, like you said, the whole thing, Kinda Blue, Miles Davis, definitely check it out. Ron, it's been great to meet you. You're so enthusiastic about the trumpet and about the music of Miles Davis.
I think
that's going to be a great show. Thank you.
Thank you.